Come in from the cold. Sit down by the fire for a moment, my dear. Pour yourself a warm cup of tea and let me look at you. Are you lying awake at night, tossing and turning, terrified of the day you or your precious aging parents might be sent away to a cold, sterile nursing home? What if I told you there is another way? What if I told you there are 6 beautiful, affordable ways to grow old surrounded by love without ever losing your dignity or your joy? You know, I have lived a long, long time. I have watched the seasons change more than 80 times, and I have seen how our society has shifted. It breaks my heart, my dear, it truly does, to see how we have started treating our elders in this modern world. We box them up, we put them away in long, quiet hallways that smell of bleach and sorrow, and we forget the lifetimes of wisdom, love, and silent strength they carry in their fragile bones. So many of my dear friends have felt that quiet terror as the years creep up, the fear of becoming a burden to their children, the fear of losing their beloved homes, their agency, their blooming gardens, and their familiar chipped teacups. Nursing homes are necessary for some, yes, and there are good people working in them, but for so many others, they are a heartbreaking and terribly expensive last resort that strips away the very soul of a person. It does not have to be this way, my child. Growing old is a privilege denied to many. It is a beautiful, crowning chapter of life, and it should be lived with joy, respect, and a fierce independence. Today, I want to share with you some secrets that have been forgotten. I want to talk about 6 wonderful, economical, and deeply happy alternatives to nursing homes, solutions that keep the heart warm, the spirit alive, and the family savings intact. Let me tell you a story about my dearest friend, Martha. Oh, Martha was a firecracker in her youth. She had a laugh that could fill a whole dance hall and a garden that looked like a piece of heaven dropped right onto earth. But a few years ago, Martha had a bad fall, just a silly slip on the wooden porch steps after a summer rain. But at our age, a small slip can shatter your whole world in an instant. Her children, bless their sweet hearts, were terrified. They loved her deeply, but they worked long hours, lived in different states, and in their panic, they started touring nursing homes. Martha called me one rainy Tuesday, her voice shaking with tears. She said to me, "Eleanor, I am not ready to leave my roses. I am not ready to eat my meals on a plastic tray in a room that feels like a hospital." My heart ached so deeply for her. The nursing home her children found was going to cost her entire life savings in just a few short years, leaving her nothing to pass down to her beautiful grandchildren. But Martha was stubborn, just like me, and together we looked for another way. We discovered that she did not need an institution. She just needed a little bit of help and a lot of companionship. Martha ended up doing something quite wonderful called home sharing. She found 2 other women, widows just like herself, who were desperately lonely and struggling to pay their rising property taxes. They moved into Martha's big, echoing house. They pooled their limited incomes to hire a lovely, kind young woman to come in every single day to help with the heavy cleaning, the cooking, and the medical check-ins. Suddenly, Martha's house was full of vibrant life again. The sweet smell of baking bread returned to the kitchen. They played cards in the evenings. They watched out for each other. They laughed until their sides hurt, and the cost was a mere fraction of what that cold institution would have charged. Martha kept her roses, my dear, and more importantly, she kept her dignity and her freedom. That is the incredible power of thinking differently about how we age. We do not have to surrender our entire lives just because our knees are a little weaker and our steps are a little slower. Listen closely, my child, because these 6 solutions might just save your family's heart and your pocketbook. Number 1 is home sharing, exactly like my dear Martha did. Think of it as the Golden Girls model of living. It is wonderful, it is economical, and it cures the absolute greatest disease of old age, which is loneliness. By sharing a home with other seniors, you split the utility bills, you split the cost of private in-home help, and you share the profound joy of daily companionship. Number 2 is multi-generational living. Oh, how we have strayed from the old, beautiful ways. For centuries, families lived together under one roof. The grandparents helped rock the babies to sleep, and the adult children cared for the elders. If you have the space, an in-law suite, a converted basement, or even a tiny home in the backyard can give an aging parent their own private, dignified space while keeping them surrounded by the laughter of their grandchildren. It teaches the young ones deep compassion, and it gives the elders a profound, life-extending sense of purpose. Number 3 is the village movement. This is a beautiful grassroots idea springing up all over the country. Neighbors band together to form a local supportive village. You pay a small, manageable annual membership fee, and in return, the village organizes dedicated volunteers and trusted professionals to help you with rides to the doctor, grocery shopping, fixing a leaky faucet, and hosting social gatherings. It allows you to confidently age in place safely, leaning on a community that knows you by your first name. Number 4 is adult day care programs. Sometimes families desperately want to keep their elders at home, but the adult children must work during the day to survive. These programs are an absolute blessing. They offer a safe, warm, and engaging place for seniors to go during the day to do arts, exercise, and socialize with friends, and then they come back to the warmth of their own family bed at night. It is significantly more affordable than full-time residential care, and it gives the family a necessary, healthy rest. Number 5 is a residential care home, sometimes called board and care. Instead of a massive clinical nursing home with hundreds of beds and blinking fluorescent lights, these are regular, comfortable houses nestled right in your own familiar neighborhood, retrofitted for complete safety. They usually house only 5 or 6 seniors at a time, cared for by dedicated live-in staff. It feels like a real home. You eat at a real wooden dining table. The ratio of care is so much better. It is deeply personal, and it is often significantly cheaper than the large corporate facilities. And finally, number 6 is greenhouse homes. This is a newer concept that is changing everything for the better. They are small, purpose-built homes where elders live together and direct their own lives. There are no strict waking hours, no scheduled feeding times like you would find in a hospital. The elders help cook the meals. They sit by a roaring hearth. They have beautiful private rooms, and they are supported by a small, dedicated team of caregivers who act much more like loving family members than clinical medical staff. It is dignified, it is entirely person-centered, and it is deeply respectful of the elder's spirit. When I sit in my rocking chair and look back over the decades, I realize that the most valuable things we have in this fleeting life are not our bank accounts or our material possessions, but our autonomy, our human connections, and our deep sense of being useful. Society might try to whisper to you that getting older means you are broken, that you need to be managed, hidden away, and put in a facility for your own safety. Do not believe them, my dear. Safety is important, yes, but what earthly good is a perfectly safe room if the heart inside it is dying of sorrow and isolation? We need to remember that an elder's worth does not diminish simply when their steps slow down. The wrinkles on our faces are beautifully drawn maps of the hard, glorious, loving lives we have survived. We deserve to spend our twilight years watching the sunset from a porch we love, feeling the breeze, holding hands with people who know our deep stories. Taking the time to explore these beautiful alternatives before a sudden crisis hits is the greatest act of love you can offer yourself or your aging parents. It takes true courage to step away from the default path, to say no to the cold institutions, and to build a life of connection, warmth, and dignity instead. So, my dear, take a deep, slow breath. Let the heavy fear wash away from your shoulders. You have beautiful options. You have time to plan. Talk to your family tonight. Talk to your friends over coffee. Start dreaming about what you want those precious golden years to look like. And remember, always remember, that you deserve happiness right up to the very last page of your beautiful story. You are strong, you are endlessly wise, and you are entirely worthy of a beautiful, connected life. If my words brought some peace and comfort to your heart today, please consider subscribing to our little community here. Leave a gentle like and please share this video with someone who might be losing sleep over these very same worries. Let me know in the comments below which of these 6 ideas sounded the best to you. I sit and read every single one of your sweet messages. Take good care of yourself, my dear. I will see you next time.